What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fireside Chat on the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network by Run Try Bike. I'm your host, Jason Bahamudi, and I'm super excited about my guest today, John Calabrese, aka Breezy Trailhead, because it is not all running all the time. I read a recent post on Instagram where he talks about him being on the Dating Detours podcast, as well as doing some core, PT, weight, cycling, swimming, and running errands. Thank goodness breathing is involuntary, because with that schedule, he may not have been able to do that. He may have forgotten to do that. But before I bring John on to talk about running and food, which he said was a favorite topic of his, please remember to subscribe, rate, review the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network on your favorite podcast platform. You can also leave a comment if you use Spotify for your podcast. There are 8 shows to choose from with various stories and hosts, and I'm sure you'll find one or all of them to your liking. So without me rambling on, let's bring John onto the show and let's get started. Hey, John, what's up?
Let's go. Let's do this. Let's go.
You know what's funny is one of the dumbest things that I do is like, hey, how are you doing when we start this podcast when we've been chatting for 15 minutes?
Oh, hey, it's nice to meet you, Jason. How's it going?
Well, we said food was one of your favorite topics, so we're going to jump right in with our icebreaker question, which is pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah. Everything on pizza. Everything on pizza. So my new favorite pizza currently is jalapeno and pineapple. You get sweet, you get spicy at the same time. It's wonderful. And if you want to get some meat on there, put some pepperoni. Perfect pizza, man. It's excellent.
So I always ask people when they say, yes, I love pineapple on pizzas, because it always seems to be accompanied by something else. In this case, you mentioned jalapenos and pepperoni or ham, some people say, which kind of tells me like, nah, you don't really like pineapple on pizza. Like you have to have like a whole meal happening here.
I'll take solo pineapple too. I love pineapple. It's great, man. It's good on pizza. And I just like pizza. I'm a big fan of all pizzas, even gas station pizza. I'll eat it, man. Whatever it takes, man.
You're like me and Andrew over in the UK. His tag is Jump Sail Dive. He lived in Italy for a number of years. Like that dude eats as much pizza as anybody I've ever talked to, and that's up there with me too, who's eating at least a pie a week.
Yeah, it's a wonderful food, and I'm all about it.
So you're Italian. Is the rest of your family on board with this too? And I mean, like going back to Nona and everybody else, not just your immediate family. Yeah,
with the pineapple. I mean, they haven't really said anything bad about it, but I have friends that have like really like hot takes on it. Like they're just like, get out. You know, people get offended. Like if you tell them you like pineapple, they're just like, what are you doing with your life? This is sacred. You know, how dare you put that on a pizza? Like people get mad. I'm like, dude, it's just pineapple. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah,
it's not that bad. But yeah,
it's awesome. Really I get tagged all the time when people are talking about pineapple on pizza, and it's because I don't like it, but power to you if you enjoy it. Like go enjoy it. Don't listen to some idiot in LA who says he doesn't like pineapple on pizza. Like go for it, man.
You got to live your life, man. If you like pineapple, just eat the pineapple. Just eat it, you know.
That's it. So let's jump into the conversation a little bit outside of pizza. So I mentioned to you that I don't typically do a lot of research on my guests because I want to chat. I want to have a conversation about whatever comes up. But something I found super interesting about you was I went to Ultra Sign Up and I did about 10 minutes of scrolling, and I'm fascinated, dude. Like you have on the sheet there, and you mentioned you have more. You have 16 DNFs plus finishes at some iconic races, including JFK 50, Tunnel Hill, Barkley Fall Classic, Cape Fear, just to name a few. Like I know it's going to be like picking your favorite kid, but do you have a favorite race, like a moment that stands out? Whether it was a finisher or not.
So there's 2 races. I'm going to say 2. My 2 favorite right now, and this is fresh because I just did it last weekend. I love the OSS CIA 50-mile run because it's a night, and you run through a park that I'm really horrible at, Prince William Forest here in Virginia. I don't know what it is. Like I've done a lot of races there, but I stink running there. I'm like terrible. I fall over. It's not even that technical or anything, but like it's just evil. It like. I've gotten lost there ever since I was like a 7-year-old Boy Scout. It's just the place has it in for me. So like, I think I just like running there because I always have to struggle and it gets me ready for doing other stuff. And it's a great race in itself, but definitely that one. And then also I like the Jarman's Invitational Marathon because it's just a grassroots race. I think it's either free or it costs like $10 or something, and like it's just funny. It's these guys that put it on and like they dress up ridiculous and they sing songs. Like one year they did the brief in song format, and then at the end of it, they when they're done with the song, you just start running. It starts at noon. It's on a horrible gravel road. There's no good views. You just you go up 3 miles. I think it ends up you go up 3 miles and you go back down 3 miles. You just back and forth. It's like it ends up being like 29 miles and like 9,000 feet of elevation. It's awful and it's hot, and like you just see people lying on the side of the road, just like glass, like they're laying in glass and poison ivy. Like, help me.
That's preferable than going on.
Yeah. It's that one's memorable just because it's out and back, so you see everyone suffering too. You're just like, it's okay, brother. You do funny stuff like that. Like I just start laughing, like when people were trying to like inspire each other, encourage each other. It's just like we sound like we're in like a Die Hard movie. Like we're just all like messed up. Like, oh, it's gonna be okay. We got this.
This story cracks me up because when you finish a 100-miler or you do something like at a hard course, and then people are like, you're such a badass, and I will always tell people like, badass is just another word for dipshit. Like that's like it's just these are dumb ideas in the grand scheme of things if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at my ultra sign up, that's definitely the case. I'd be like, you could tell I was just working some stuff out, especially like some of those back-to-back weekends. Some of the ultras I have on there are like in the same weekend. So I've been working some stuff out for some years now.
What's two of the longest distances that you've done either back-to-back or within like a week's time frame? Do you remember?
Oh wow! So during COVID, I did a fat ass race, the Bloody 11W. I talk about this race all the time, but that was 119 miles. But yeah, like all the time though, I would just do like 100K and then like another 50K or something like that, or just whatever. Yeah, I don't know the longest distance. I think probably just like 100-miler, or just like I did like a couple, like I said, like 100K and then just something else on top of that. The most recent one I did, this was really dumb. I did. You mentioned it though. I don't know if you mentioned it on air when we were talking before. I did JFK and the Philly Marathon in the same weekend. Don't do that, because it mainly like I was injured too doing that, and like I was already like sleep deprived, had a lot of stress going on, a lot of like bad situation happening. But the drive is the worst part. So like after you're done with JFK, you still have to drive like 3 hours, and you have to get somebody to pick up your bib because you're going to miss packet pickup. So you gotta worry about that stuff. Checking the Airbnb, maybe get like a couple hours sleep if you're lucky. You're going to be all messed up from JFK, and then you're running that. That's one of the worst I've done. But yeah, I used to do stuff like that all the time, and it catches up. You got to be careful. I don't recommend that lifestyle to anybody.
I did, and this is a PSA to everybody to read the race pamphlet when it comes out from the race director, because there's important information in there. I registered for Coldwater 100 one year, thinking it was a Western States. This is when I first got started in the trail running, and I just assumed every race was a Western States qualifier. I had no idea that there was not that scenario. And after like reading the race director guide, I was like, oh shit, this is not a Western States 100. I need to register for another one. And the next one was 2 weeks later at Rocky Raccoon. So I ran 2 100-mile races within exactly 14 days of each other. And I, with you, dude, I do not recommend it at all.
Yeah, but it's fun. I think runners are weird like that. Like you tell them that it's like Gordon. It's like watching Gordon Gekko in Wall Street. Like he's a bad guy, but you kind of want to be him in a way. Like I think a lot of people that's what they think. They're like, oh, that's awesome. No, that's not good. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be Gordon Gekko and run all these hundreds. Don't do it.
So like that those are two different mindsets. Like, how did you run the Philly Marathon? Where you're like, I just want to finish this, or did you actually light the fuse?
No. So like I'm kind of messed up, man. So like I've had a bunch of like leg, knee, hip injuries. So like I can't really run fast right now. I went through spurts like I want to say like 3 months ago. I was doing really good with like speed training and stuff. I was going to try to BQ at the Marine Corps Marathon, but I hurt my hip again like during that, like doing all those tempo runs and stuff like that, and getting high. Once I started building up mileage, like I was doing good at first. Then I had like 100-mile week, and like I messed myself up. So I'm just doing slower pace stuff right now. But that's how I was for the Philly. I just got through it. I mean, it was really rough. And oh my God, I forgot about this little tidbit. On top of doing the marathon, I was wearing a costume. I was Bradley Cooper from Silver Linings Playbook. Very bad idea. Trash bag. I was wearing the trash bag sweatshirt. Yeah, it was not good. Not good at
I
all,
guess
man.
you could have gone as Rocky. That could have been your other option.
Well, that's what some people in Philly thought that's who I was, but then like, yeah, they were like, "Hey, it's Rocky," and like I was so messed up. I was like, "Yeah, I'm Rocky." I disagree. But then I had some people that got and were quoting lines from the movie, and that was cool. But yeah, I wasn't. I was so out of it, man, because the lack of sleep and I was just like, whatever. I'm whoever you
That's
want me
right.
to be.
Exactly. I'll just be whoever it is and just wave and root for me. Thanks. We jumped right into the conversation, but how did you get started in running? Like, what was the catalyst that you were like, oh, this will be fun. Let me put one foot in front of the other as fast as I can.
I think it was a long time coming. At least that's what I think. Basically, I liked running when I was young, but I just didn't have the discipline for it. Like, I did track a little bit when I was in middle school, but I liked other sports more. Like, I mean, everyone likes football and baseball and stuff like that. And I think I kind of shunned running. I was like, that's just a component of a sport. So like, I just didn't really like it. But once I joined the military, they planted a seed in my head to get into it, because you have to train a little bit for the PRT. I mean, I was a complete crazy alcoholic in the Navy, but I still trained for the PRT just because you still have to run and pass that. So I would train for it. I might have been hungover and everything, but yeah, I definitely trained for it. I wish like I could go back and look at footage of that, or like look up like my scores on it. There was people like smoking cigarettes while running. It was so funny. Like, yeah, you never see anything like that again, man. But yeah, so like that's what planted the seed. And then like I was going through like a messy divorce, and basically I'd ran some 5Ks and stuff like that with family, just on like local races, just messing around. But I was like, I'm going to run a marathon. But I wanted to for like a long time. And yeah, I think that was the catalyst right there. Just, trying to make myself happy, because like divorce is dark, man. I mean, I think as bad as that is, that's where you kind of find your hobbies and stuff to, make yourself happy. And I think that's how I really discovered running for me. And, just not just running, but trying to like do other stuff also. Cause like once the marathon was over, I got sad. I was like, oh my God, what do I do now? Like, do I sign up for another one? But like, that's where I started looking up ultras and stuff. I was like, what's the hardest race in the world? And I started like, I found out about Barkley from Wikipedia. I didn't find out I saw the documentary, but I first found out about like by just looking at Wikipedia and stuff. I was like, whoa, the race starts with a guy smoking a cigarette. This is awesome. This is like the Navy. I'm used to this shit.
It's
yeah. So
this is why I love having conversations, dude, because I had my bouts of alcohol abuse and I've been divorced twice. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Like when you go through divorce, you start to throw some shit away. You're like, I don't need this anymore. And you start to find things that make you happy, and you pour yourself into those things. And I can say without a doubt that running was one of those things for myself too, that I poured into to help process the divorce, get away from all the nonsense that is happening around you. And so like, these are the conversations that always make me happy, because, somebody's opening up and talking about this stuff. And it's like, shit, yeah, me too. Right. And I hope that there's a listener who's thinking to themselves, holy shit, yeah, me too. And they get comfortable with it.
Yeah. And also like anyone currently going through divorce, I mean, like I'd say like, look at what you've been wanting to do your whole life. Like somewhere in my mind, I wanted to be a runner, even though I didn't like it growing up in like middle school and thinking it was like a lame, sport compared to the more popular ones at the time. I mean, like I did want to do it. And, once I found out about like marathons and stuff like that, I mean, I swear I remember watching the Badwater doc like, right when it came out, like as like a teenager, like, whoa, like I think at one point I was just like, are normal people qualified to do that? Do you have to go through like a screening test? So like, yeah, I mean, like I'm pretty sure I saw it. Like I was at a party or something. I was like, whoa, these guys, look at these guys. They're going through Death Valley, just something like that. But somewhere, along the way, it got planted in my head. Now I just, when I actually got a lot of trauma in my life, I just was like, this is something I want to do. It's going to help me get out of this.
You said you did a Google search on the hardest foot races or running races, and you just mentioned Badwater and you just mentioned Barkley too. Do you remember any of the ones that popped up on the list?
Oof. Those were the main two, but then also like what was the other one? I don't know. Those are like the usual suspects, though. You always see those.
And Comrades are other ones
Yeah.
as well. And I will honestly, I've paced and crewed at Ouray. I would throw Ouray into the list of hardest races because that thing is hard just for fucking hard's sake.
So that I'm glad you brought that up. I have a friend that did that. I think he's DNF'd twice, but yeah, I've never done a Colorado race. So this is the thing that stinks about me. Like I've never done a Colorado race. I've never done anything out west. Like the furthest, like to to all that stuff I've been is like Ohio. I'm a straight up East Coast dude, but I've crewed at Western States, but I don't count that. I really want to get out there. I want to do Badwater. I want to do Western States. I'm hoping to do those, but like also try to do the fast races that I like doing, the underground stuff, because that's what really got me into doing ultras. Just like learning about Barkley and the stuff we do here in Virginia, like the Virginia Happy Trails Running Club puts on. We put on some really cool stuff that is Barkley like and underground and not flashy and expensive or anything like that.
So we talked about this in the green room. You've got a pacer and a crew member in me for Badwater and for any race you decide to do when you come out west. I'm happy to be a part of it. And then,
yes.
yeah, dude, seriously, like Badwater is an experience, and being able to pace and crew at that event was special for me. And I'm happy to do it for you when you get picked. And for any race, honestly, if you decide to do Ouray or Hard Rock or any of these events out here, man, I'm in. The thing you touched on right there with the fat ass events is one of the things I fell in love with as I was scrolling through your ultrasound. Like my face hurt from smiling. I was like, look at all these fat ass events. And because because nowadays, right, this shit is expensive. I don't care what anybody says. And you start looking at $300, $350 running shoes, and then the gear and the nutrition and everything else starts to add up. Those fat ass events, and I've been a part of them, and I've been a host of a number of them too. They are super special. There's just like a camaraderie that happens at that fat ass event that I don't think you get at other events. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree. And also like when I started doing ultras, like I don't even think I can make the case for myself. I don't even like running. I just like the people that do this wild stuff, because like, like for these fast races or like, Barkley Fall Classic or any of that stuff, like it takes like a special weirdo to do these things. So like being able to like meet a group of them, you're just like, wow, these guys are really cool. Like it's just, there's so many characters. That's why I like doing this stuff, because I mean, like with expensive flashy races, you see a lot of them there too. But I mean, like I feel like just the energy at a fast is like, it's just completely different. It's weird. It's wild. You'll go to an aid station and see something completely random. Like they might make you like a waffle with, Nutella in it and a banana, or like a Philly cheesesteak. You're like, okay, cool. It's just different.
For us, when I was hosting fat ass events in Texas, we told the people, bring your own aid station shit. We'll have some stuff, but you have to bring your own aid station shit. Like, don't rely on us. Things might run out. And before you know it, because we did it on a loop, I think it was like a 4 or 5 mile loop. Before you know it, like everything was just communal, right? Everything would just go into the middle and you would just grab whatever you wanted, whether you actually brought it or not. And then when the event was over, it was a timed event is how we did it. And when the event was over, like now you're all sitting down in your little lawn chairs and your little trail chairs, and you're just bullshitting with each other, telling stories.
It's so cool. And everyone's swapping war stories or like stuff they saw out there, something weird. And then like, also writing race reports too. That's another thing. I mean, like, I feel it's just like a really fun way to do that. And just like, if you saw something strange out there, somebody else would be like, oh, I saw that too. What was that? Or just like some joke. Or like, if you meet like people out there too, and you like, I'm so bad. I forget people's, like if I'm running with somebody, especially if we're running at night, I'm just, I don't remember anything. Maybe I'll remember like a joke, or like if we talk sports or something. I'm big into sports. That's usually how I remember conversations and like, certain things. But I'll remember later, like, oh yeah, that's that person. So I just love it. It's just a fun community. It's just really cool to like link up with all these weirdos, and
it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I did tell you that I did like 10 minutes of research on you, and like the Google search is like podcast. Like it's like a lot of them. Do you know which has more finishes on your ultra sign up or podcast appearances?
Oh, it's definitely racist, but I'm getting there on podcasts. Part of it is, this is gonna sound really bad, but like part of like I just like talking on podcasts. It's like my therapy. I mean, it's really easy for me to talk to people, and I love talking about the community and adventures I want to do and have done. And yeah, it just helps me sort out a lot of thoughts, just like I'm running, and right now, especially because I'm coming off injury, I can't run like I normally do. I'm doing a lot of gym work and stuff, and that's cool. But I mean, like, I don't like swimming 7 days a week. I want to run. So like, it's talking to runners on podcasts and connecting with people, that makes me happy, just like I am running every day. Because let's be honest, man. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like cycling and swimming, but doing that every day and lifting weights, I'd rather be running. I miss it.
It's funny because I wrote a LinkedIn post this morning that basically said what you just said in terms of I just love talking to people. Like, I either host or co-host 4 different podcasts on our Everyday Athlete Podcast Network because I get to meet cool, interesting people like yourself who are all walks of life doing distances from, 5K to 300 milers and, triathlon and everything in between. It's just so cool to hear people's stories and learn from them and get an idea of like what else is out there, right? Like I wish I knew everything about every race, but I clearly don't. And so when I get to talk to a guy like you who's like, oh, I'm doing this fat ass in Northern Virginia next week, I'm like, oh, what is that event? Tell me more.
Yeah, I mean, well, I I like it so much. I like try to. I'm that guy that like researches all of them. Like, when's this one going down? Like I know like a bunch of them. Like, but I want to learn more about ones on the West Coast because I think you have to be pretty close to like the communities to kind of learn, because some of them are kind of secret. They don't want them being blown up like that, and I totally understand that. You don't want to, with Instagram and social media, you're going to ruin the underground feel to it and everything. So yeah, I mean, I want to run them all, man. I hope my body will hold. that's that's the sad thing though. Like at 45, I mean, like I'm not super old, but at the same time, like like the way my hip has been, I'm like, am I gonna be able to do this? Like, it makes me sad. Like, am I gonna have to become like a triathlete or something? What do I do? Yeah, no. I mean, like, there's something wrong with it, but like, I like doing ultras, man. I don't want to, I don't want to change that. I don't want to play pickleball. I want to run ultras, man. I don't want to go away from that.
I'm with you, dude. Like I spent years racing Ironman. I've done 8 Ironman races. I've got 8 finishes, and I was racing Ironman and 100 milers at the same time in the same years, actually. And the 100 miler is just one, it's much harder. And for all you triathletes out there who want to argue with me, please, let's go. I will argue this until I'm blue in the face. It's just way harder to run 100 miles.
Well, you know what though? It's so where I'm at, like I said, like I'm kind of just doing these like ultra slow and stuff like that. I mean, if you turn and burn on an Ironman, I mean, for me, I would say that's harder, just because like you've never seen me swim before, and hopefully you don't have footage of me swimming. So like like if you just play that, then you have to go with that. You have to go with the triathlon because yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I think I could. I wanted to do an Ironman in what was it, like right before COVID. I was going to do the Maryland Ironman. I was training really hard for swimming and stuff like that, but my gym closed, and like they weren't going to let anyone do the Ironman. So like my swimming's really bad. Like I just do it for cross training, and everyone that sees me, they're like, "Oh, you're injured. You do a different sport, don't you?" They immediately, I'm like, "How'd you guess?"
All the splashing, water everywhere.
Yeah. What are you doing in there, man?
I raced Ironman Maryland. I think it was 2016, and it's a great venue for an event. But boy, is it humid out there on the run course. It is brutally humid out there. But here's the thing that I say when people are like Ironman 100 milers, like for me, I finish an Ironman in 11 and a half, 12 hours. To finish a 100 miler in 24 hours, that means you still have 12 hours to go. And some people are finishing in 32 hours, which means you got 20 hours to go. And like, that's just crazy.
I don't understand. Yeah. So I've done a bunch of 100 milers. I mean, I not as much as, some people out there. I mean, I think I've done like, I don't even know. I think I've done 15 or 1600 milers, maybe more. I try to keep track of it. I want to go off to the next adventure, but my times range from like, I think my fastest is like 20 under 21, and my slowest is like my slowest I think is like in the 40s.
It's so hard, dude. It is so
Yeah,
hard.
it's yeah, especially if the course is tough. Like the people that I really idolize are like people that can do those technical ones like Massanutten, Wild Oak Trail, like Barkley, stuff like that. Like people that can do like the really hard stuff and just like run them like it's like a road course. I don't understand how they do that. Like I don't like that, dude. That took me 40 hours to finish. You finished in sub 24. Like, how did you do that? What's your secret? I don't get that at all,
I
man.
remember at Ouray, you go up to Twin Peaks, and the path to get up there is no wider than like 2 feet, and it's two-way traffic. And so you've got guys screaming coming down the hill because it's super steep and muddy because it always rains, and you got people going up at the same time. And so you got to be super careful and everything else. And to see people finishing that race as fast as they do is absolutely mind-blowing.
I don't get it. So, have you heard of Manitou's Revenge
I have
up
not.
in New York? Dude, look that one up because what you're saying is kind of like you made me just completely think of that race. I did that one. I DNF'd it the first time I tried it. I think the second time, I think it took me 24 hours. I might be wrong, but that's a 50 mile race. Yeah, it's up in the Catskills. Say what you just described. I thought I was gonna die up there, man. Like it was so technical, especially going downhill. I was like butt sliding and stuff, scared that I was gonna like die. And it was raining too most of the time. So like we're slipping. I saw dudes just fall over like constantly. And yeah, it was, dude. That's a hard one. Like people, a lot of people, say that Colorado, of course, you got the altitude and all that, but there's some really hard races here on the East Coast, like Manitou's Revenge. I mean, we've got some crazy, rocks and roots, like PA stuff. Like I did a 50K in PA, like I think like 3 weeks ago. I did Cowan's Gap in PA. It's a 50K that a Happy Trails puts on. And yeah, man, some of the climbs and the rocks, it's crazy, man. I think it took me 8 hours to do that 50K, but I felt like my hip was going to fall off during that one too. So just the fact that I finished, I'm happy, but that's kind of where I'm at now, man. I'm just happy to get some of these hard races done.
You talked about sliding on your ass. So I remember at Cocodona when I was in Sedona, and I don't know if I was on the right course or off the course or whatever, but I remember having to slide on my ass. And in that moment, it was late at night, 2, 3 a.m. And I was scared. I was like, I have no idea what's underneath us. Like if we're sliding off this rock, who the hell knows what's down below underneath this, we got fortunate that, the drop was like 2.5 feet. It wasn't too bad, but you find yourself in some gnarly positions out there in the trails in the middle of the woods or in the middle of the desert at night. It's crazy.
Yeah. The only ones I've really butt slided on was, so some of the ones that we do here in Massanutten, I have just for like a second, but like I did a lot at was it a Manitou's Revenge and also on the Barkley Fall Classic course. Like on that one, like I looked like Homer Simpson just rolling down hills, like going into crashing into briars. Also, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Like just like all over the place, man. Like it's just like I look like I'm animated out there. Like I have no idea what I'm doing. It's just.
But you're having fun, right? I mean, when it's all said and done, you're having fun, are you not?
I don't know, man. Like I keep going back. I feel like I ask myself this a lot. Like, why do I do this stuff? I think I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm trying to like, just burn out. I don't know. Like just I don't know, man. Exercise, just get the demons out of me or something. I don't know, man. I have no idea. But I keep coming back and I like doing it. It's the people. It's definitely the people. I mentioned that earlier. It's the people out there. They make you laugh. Like you'll hear, like on Barkley Fall Classic, man. Like I was running with this dude for a while, and we did so much time in the trenches there. We just started looking at each other and could communicate like that. I would just like give him like a look and be like, okay, like we just like, yeah, you're with. It's so weird. You meet somebody for like 10 minutes. Or whatever, an hour, and then you're like you're talking
and you're telling your deepest darkest secrets. Like you're just,
I'm like, yeah, you're just like, yeah, everything's like, well, this is we have this connection now. We can beat this course with our minds.
There's no doubt you absolutely get bonded with strangers at these ultras. There's zero doubt about it. And I think that's one of the things I love. Do you run with music when you're doing these events, or are you going music soundless, I should say?
So I I did when I first started running, when I first started training, but yeah, not anymore. I mean, yeah, I don't really do it anymore. I like listening to people and like, or just like, I don't know, like I think it's really cool just to disconnect from everything and just like hear the woods or just, random sounds or just somebody joking in the background. I mean, don't get me wrong. I hate to even bring this up on you. There's some annoying conversations on the trail. Like,
Yes, there are.
yeah, I try not to be that guy, but like sometimes like what I'll do is like, oh guys, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then I just like let him pass me. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm glad that's over with. But like it's the same conversations you hear constantly. You're just like, wow, I've heard this one like 30 times. I've heard this one 30 times, man.
And
Come on,
the funny
switch
thing
it
is,
up.
depending on where you are in your mindset, you might want to participate in that conversation, or it might be that, like you just said, I got to duck into the woods to go to the bathroom, even though I don't really have to.
Yeah. No, I just gotta get out of here. I just gotta get out of here, man. I mean, most of the time people
Yeah.
are like really cool, but like I don't know. Like sometimes you're just like, I don't know. You just hear variations of the same conversation, and you just want to get out. You just gotta bail out, man. You just gotta bail out. You gotta pull the cord.
Speaking of conversations with people, when you have pacers at your events, like what's your preferred method for having them pace? Are they in front of you, behind you, next to you? Do you want them talking? Do you want them silent? Like, do you have a preferred system?
So usually I'm like pretty talkative and just like joking around, but like the 50 miler I did this weekend, I wasn't my normal jovial self. I was very quiet. I was just trying to just survive. I don't know how. So I don't know how we did this. Like, well, it speaks to how slow I was going in the beginning of the race. I got negative splits on this 50 miler, but I beat the final cutoff by like minutes. Yeah, so like, we barely talked. He was like, my pacer was just giving me like motivational stuff and non-motivational stuff too. Like, he lied to me. He lied to me many times. He was like, John, we only got to go. We have to get a sub 20-minute pace. This is how wrecked I was. He's like, John, all we got to do is do a sub 20-minute pace to this next aid station. And then it turned into 14. I was like, oh, 14? I don't know if I could do that. And then it turned into 10, and we might still not make it. I was like, fuck you, man. Fuck you, dude. I can't do a 10-minute pace. I'm gonna die. But I did it, and it sucks too because I wasn't DFL, but I was like 2 away from it, I think, and I did my minutes. But the coolest thing though, if you do find yourself in that situation, then I mean, like, I love everyone cheering for you at the end, and that is a really cool thing. But at the same time, like, I hate being in that situation where you have to chase cutoffs. That's so rough, man.
Kudos to your pacer because he did exactly what he's supposed to do, which is lie to you.
Oh, he lied. Yeah, but he did it like really like, I don't know. He set me up, so I was like, oh, 20-minute pace. This is good. But my mind was so gone. I mean, I should be able to do easy math and figure out I was screwed anyway. But like, yeah, 20-minute. That's a really good trick to do to somebody. Like, I'm gonna do it when I pace the next person I pace. I'm gonna be like, yeah, 20-minute pace. This is easy. You can do it. Just ease them into it, And then like next thing you know, you got to do it like 10s and 9s and running for their life that they're gonna. You're probably not gonna make it anyway. So just do what you can.
I am renowned for just saying, people, you got to give yourself a chance. Come on, let's just run a little bit. Give yourself a chance. Come on, let's just run a little bit. And once you start moving, then I stop talking. Because now they don't have to think about it. They're just in motion. And you just keep dragging them along. And then you're just like, hey, just give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance. And then give them, hey, let's take a 1-minute walk break. Right. And they're like, oh, he's on my side. He gave me a 1-minute walk break.
See, like the place I was in at this 50 mile, we didn't even have time to do that. Like I spent my pace was so bad in the beginning of the race because, like I said, I've had some hip problems, and then also it was wet out there, and I'm bad at that part to begin with, so I was just going really slow, and then we didn't. If I would have walked, I think we would have, because I finished by minutes, like maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. So if I would have walked, it might I might not have. I made it, man. But yeah, I don't know how he did. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how he got me to do that though, other than just
kudos to him. Extra pizza slices for him for getting you there.
Yes.
Do you have a preferred course type that you would rather run? Like, is it flat and fast? Is it mountainous? Is it dirt trail? Is it rocky trail? Do you have one?
So I think where I'm at right now, I've bounced around. I like, I think what messed me up last year, I split a lot of ultras with like road running and like trying to do some faster pace stuff. And I did some pretty good on some local races. I got some like age group awards and stuff like that. But I mean, like ultimately, I don't think it was worth it because I really messed myself up like switching from both worlds. I think for me right now, just doing slower pace, like technical stuff, and just kind of marrying myself to that course. Because I mean, I can do it, and I don't mind spending time out there, but I got to get in that mindset. And if I keep switching off, that's going to mess me up. So I think for me right now, I just got to focus on like technical, longer cutoffs, stuff like that.
Makes sense. I want to switch topics here for a second before we start heading into the food conversation. You mentioned you were you mentioned that you're a caregiver, and I think it's either a pin post, but it's the first post on your Instagram page, and it's you and Doug and Donald. Donald. I love seeing the smile on your faces, man. So how did you guys get connected, and what is it that draws you to wanting to be around Donald?
So this is interesting. So like I met Donald at a race, him and his dad, like one in Manassas, Virginia. We were doing the Prince William half, and Donald and his dad, they lined up and they're with their racing chair and everything. And I was like, what's this all about? I didn't understand what was going on. So like, but I went over to Donald and he's like, Donald just smiling, I'm just like, this guy's awesome. And he's like all happy. So like, the race starts, they take off. They end up finishing like an hour, like under an hour and a half, I think. But the whole race, I was just in awe of them. I was like, how are they doing this? These guys are awesome. So I think the next week at my house, I got a Manassas magazine, and they're on the cover of it, like their family, the Harms family. Donald's on the front with his dad, and I was like, I got to meet them. They're really cool. So I sent him a Facebook message and became friends with them. And then I started doing races like how they do with Ainsley's Angels, and promoting inclusion at races and helping others enjoy the race experience. And I just over the years, Donald needed a caregiver. And I was like, yeah, this seems cool. So I really enjoy doing stuff with Donald. He's got a lust for life. He loves to live, and he makes the most of every day. He always wants to do adventure, and he's always wanting to get out there, and that it's contagious. I feel like he's helped me want to do a lot more with running and just in my own life, and also with my daughter too. My daughter's hung out with him before. Like she's really into dance. She's pushing herself for her dreams and to pursue things in dance. She just got the lead as Clara and the Nutcracker. I mean, she pushes herself really hard, and I really do feel like some of that. Yeah, I think that some of that is like from seeing Donald. I really do, and like, I mean, she sees me run, and I've always like told her to follow her dreams, and I've been a really supportive parent. I didn't try to push her into any sports. I didn't specialize her like some parents. I was like I had her try a bunch of different sports, and dance was the one that bubbled up and was the one for her. But Donald's been very impactful in my life, and I would say he's my best friend. He's a great dude. I love
the fact that it was a magazine a week later, a magazine story, and I think this is the power of storytelling. That I think people sometimes shy away from telling their own story because they're like, well, who's going to read it? And who's going to see it? And who's going to know about it? And all these other excuses to not do it. But Donald and his family took the chance, told their story. They're on the cover, and look at the impact. It's not just John being impacted. It's John's daughter that's now being impacted, and she's going to impact somebody else because of what she's doing. Right? There's going to be somebody who's young who's like, I want to be the lead like her in the Nutcracker one day. And if we go ahead.
And Ainsley's Angels also, so like, because seeing them at the race, like, I've pushed riders like pretty much every distance, and I had an ultra planned, but COVID, COVID kind of messed that up. But I really enjoy working with Ainsley's Angels a lot, and whenever I push somebody, I make sure I give them like the best time. Like I've never pushed Donald before. That his dad's the only person that pushes him, but I try to like give like that kind of experience. I'm not as fast as them, but like I tried it though. I tried, and if I can't run that fast because I'm injured or something, I ran a 100-mile race the weekend before or something stupid. I just I make up for it by like we stop and take pictures with people, and like we just have a really good time. Yeah, I love doing stuff with
I mean, I got to imagine like it's fulfilling for you, but it's got to be fulfilling for the people that you're pushing and the families of the people that you're pushing that creates this. So we talked about bonds that get created on the trail with strangers, like the bonds that you must have with the families and the athletes that you're pushing have got to be, I mean, unbelievable.
So for like, there is, I mean, we don't have to divulge into this stuff. I mean, there are toxic elements of the running community, but this is like one of the more like wholesome things I love and I really enjoy. It makes me feel better about like everything around running, because like you for all the bad stuff that you do see out there, like just toxic traits and all that stuff, like weird diets, just like people people obsessing over goals and like comparing themselves to others. I mean, this really makes me, just to make somebody happy, that's all it is. It's just a basic thing, and it's it gives me a lot of happiness.
I'm with you, brother. Like, this is one of the reasons why I love having the Run Try Bike business and the community, is because we don't tend to get caught up in those types of conversations where you're only a runner if you run at 4:30 a.m. or you're only a runner if you do a 6-minute mile, or you're only a runner if you qualified for Boston. I'm like, stop gatekeeping. Like, just get out of here. Like, we want. Go ahead.
It gets me mad. It really, it gets me 100%. Mad. I mean, like, I mean, and like, as good as Strava is for like journal keeping and stuff like that, I mean, I think it's so toxic, man. Like, people just like constantly looking at like, what did this person do? What did that person do? I mean, like, honestly, all I do use it for is just like journal keeping. And if anyone were to look at my Strava right now, all they're going to see, like I mentioned earlier, a bunch of swimming and some cycling. So yeah, I mean, I've done a bunch of races, and I'm going to do a bunch of hundreds this year. So like, say what you want about me, I'm living my life, man. And I think that's all you can do as a runner, do what you can do. You don't have to run every single day getting like a 6-minute pace and stuff like that. Just do what works for you. It might not be running every day. You might need rest. I mean, like, I kind of wish that, looking back at all the times I ran, like I did some stupid stuff, man. I had like, multiple 100-mile weeks and plus, especially during COVID. I ran around fields for like a marathon for no reason, like, but if I could take some of that stuff back, I probably would. My hip would probably be a little bit better right now. So, I mean, I would say, anyone that's like constantly comparing themselves, just, think about that.
I will agree with you 100%. I remember years ago, an athlete that I was following on Strava, and, you change the title. Honestly, the majority of the time, 50% of my time, my runs are like afternoon run, morning run, evening run, and then other times I'll have a title. But I remember this one athlete would always say easy run, and you click on it, and everything was in zone 5. And I was like, there's nothing easy about this. Like, nothing is easy about this. And it was like this comparison trap that, in order to showcase to somebody else who might see this, that I can run a X minute mile and call it an easy run. And the reality is, it wasn't an easy run. You're burning yourself out. You're going to be out of the sport or injured before you know it because of that.
Yeah, and I think that's just making me really happy to go like back to just doing like ultras alone. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to do like 5Ks and stuff like that, just like joking around. I mean, like, but I just want to have more fun, like, hopefully. I've never qualified for Boston, and that's what I wanted to do this year at the Marine Corps Marathon, because it's the 50th. But once I started having those issues, I mean, I constantly change my plans, and like, that does infuriate some people in my life. But I mean, I really think you have to. I mean, like, it's just wherever your body's at, and if it's if you can't, I may never qualify for Boston. If that doesn't happen, cool. Because there's other things I can do with myself, and like, I feel like a lot of times doing ultras, my body feels better just going slow and just enjoying it. And I'll still make the cutoffs and stuff like that for the most part, as long as I almost didn't the other night. Thankfully, I had a good pacer, but yeah, I mean, like, just do what you can do. I mean, like, your limitations. Some years you have some good years, sometimes you don't, and you just make the best of it.
I like the fact that you said, I change my mind all the time. I interviewed Josh Rosenthal for an article that'll be coming out here in a few days on our runtrimag.com website. And one thing he said in the interview was, I love change. And I said, you do realize that like 90% of the people who are going to hear that are going to be like, no, like, I want to be comfortable. I want to be in the Archie Bunker chair every night watching the TV. I don't want change. I don't enjoy change, but I love change. Like, I'm all in on change. Yeah. My wife and I have moved 4 times in the last 4 years. And we've gotten to see different parts of this country because of that. And we've gained experiences and knowledge because of that. And give me all the change. Sign me up twice.
Yeah. I think your body's a puzzle. I really do. I think, like, it's constantly changing, and I feel like with that change, sometimes you have to shift goals. I mean, just it's a big puzzle that you have to just different workouts to fix different things that you mess up from doing stupid races, but you adapt and you adapt and you overcome, and so many times I'll go into a year thinking I'm going to do one thing, and then my body's like, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to do this. So like, I think I've embraced that more. But yeah, like it is tough on that is one thing though. It is tough on families switching up stuff like that, or like just again, my daughter's in dance, so like a lot of times for these races you have to like get into a lottery or something a year in advance. So like there's times like I'll find out my daughter's dance is going to be like the same weekend, like 2 or 3 months before. I'm like, all right, well that's out. So yeah, you're no matter what, like you're going to have to change either for you or for family. So just be ready to
One
do
of
it.
the things I talk to my wife about a lot is this idea of hidden talent. Like, and we won't know if we have a talent unless we try things. And so we might have to change things. Like, we'll watch a 60 Minutes show or something, and there'll be like this 12-year-old kid who's just phenomenal at playing the piano, right? And it's like, how the hell did he find that talent, or how the hell did she find that talent? And they tried it and they practiced it, and I'm like, that's why I want to try all the things. Maybe my hidden talent is I might be like the greatest banjo player ever, and I don't know it because I haven't tried playing the banjo. Like, who the hell knows? Like, go try it, and if you fucking suck at it, so what? Move on to the next thing.
Yeah, just move on. That's what I'm the same way. I like trying a bunch of new stuff, and like that's one cool thing about being a caregiver with Donald. He's the same way. Like so, like we're go getters, man. Like if we see something cool out there, like yeah, like the other day there was a trampoline in this program. We were just like, okay, I just pick him up and like, like just whatever, dude. He loves that stuff because like he's used to sitting in his chair a lot and just like not being able to get out and like do something like that. But he's like, if you look on my Instagram, he's like, just like pushing up out there. He's like having a great time. It's it's cool. I love doing stuff like that. Just the spontaneity or whatever. Just it's fun.
That's just living, dude. And I think you get more out of your years in doing stuff like that. We're running up against the time clock here. So where can people find you and engage with you in conversation? Because this has been fun for me. So I'm sure other people would love to chat with you too.
Yeah, mainly Breezy Trailhead. I'm also on Facebook, TikTok. That's pretty much it. I have a website, but I haven't been updating that. But yeah, I need to. But yeah, mainly TikTok, Facebook.
How could you
Instagram.
keep up with a website, dude? When you're out there swimming, cycling, running, PT, caregiving, running.
Yeah. And then all the podcasts I do, like I gave up, man. I got to a certain point, I was like, I can't do it anymore.
Just let us handle it. We'll post about you for you.
It's on the Google. You just look up the Google. You just look me up on the Google. John Calabrese. I'm here. Breezy Trailhead. Yeah.
All right, dude. Let's jump into our rapid fire food questions. You kind of got the pizza one sort of right, so we'll go with like a 50-50 answer on that one there. Oreos. Okay. Are you a fan of the old school Oreo, the double stuff Oreo, the mega stuff Oreo, the Cakester, or the thin?
Double stuffed are the best. However, I can't keep up with them now. Like if you go to like into the store, they have like a million different kinds now. Like they're just, yeah, I can't keep up with them. They have like in weird flavors too. They have like cotton candy, like just like something random. Just name it and they have it now. So like it's hard to keep up. But double stuffed are my favorite. Just the right amount of cream and spray.
We had Chrissy Murphy on last week, and she is the person that they keep making these crazy flavors for because she's like, I love this one and I love that one and I love the other one, and I'm like, plain, mint, gluten-free double stuff, and blonde,
mint's good.
And that's it. I don't need anything else.
Yeah, blonde. The funny thing, blonde. You always see it. You always see it in Nate Station. They usually have the blonde there. But yeah, I went to Walmart the other day with Donald, and they had like peanut butter pretzel. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Why? And I like pineapple on pizza. That's coming from me. Like it's just. I can't.
Santino Williams and Chrissy Murphy were showcasing their Selena Gomez Oreos, and I clearly have zero idea what would even be in a Selena Gomez Oreo. Honestly, I have no idea.
Like glitter, like glitter or something. I don't get it, man. I don't understand it.
Licorice, red, black, or not at all?
Ooh, I would do red. but sometimes the rare chocolate licorice. I know that sounds disgusting,
terrible.
but I ate it when I was a kid, and it is, but it's better than peanut. I've seen peanut butter also. So yeah.
Then on the red flavor, are you Red Vines or Twizzlers fan?
Oof, they're both awesome. I would. Okay, all right. I'm gonna break it down like this. They're both good, but if you have Dr. Pepper, Red Vines, and that, or yeah, that's a wonderful combo.
Nailed it.
Yeah, that's
nailed
it right there. But if you get that aid station, that's basically crack. You're basically smoking crack, and you're fine. You're gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna get to the next place, and you're gonna be cut off.
To the next aid station is gonna be the fastest you've ever had. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean your heart might explode, but you're gonna be you'll get through. You'll get through it. You're gonna be okay.
Are Peeps a real candy, or are they just?
Next question.
So I've been told.
Let's move
I've
on.
been told that in order to really enjoy a Peep, you should let it get stale. And my response is, so you want me to take something that's horrible, make it worse, and somehow it's going to be better?
Yeah, that just speaks to the candy itself, or whatever it is. But you know what my daughter does? Like, I'm sure everybody does this, but she likes putting them in the microwave and then doesn't eat them. Like, she just puts them in the microwave and just like watches them expand, and then like it's over. Like, oh, that was cool. Yeah, that's all they are.
Useless, pointless, useless. Candy corn.
I don't know
Is
why
candy corn a real candy? No.
Oh. Vile, despicable.
It's awful. Do you remember the?
It's wax. It's like crayons, dude. It's like eating a.
My description is it's earwax covered in sugar, dude. That's it. Like, I just don't bring it to my house, please.
I had an ex-girlfriend that ate those, and like I just seeing them in the house just made me like it made me mad to see them. I was just like, just get these things away from me. Like I'm a pretty chill dude, but like those things like made me angry.
Do you remember the orange circus peanuts that they used to sell to?
Oh, dude. So you know what? I'll say this. Those are disgusting, but I would rather eat that than the candy corn. Like, that's not as bad. I would rather eat those than the candy corn.
All right, here's a multiple choice question. You have almost every grandparent's house has a bowl of candy, and there's usually a butterscotch, a peppermint spiral, and the strawberry, with the soft strawberry filling in the middle. Which one are you taking?
The Werthers, man.
Always.
You gotta go for the Werthers. Yeah, it's the safest bet. Those strawberry ones, like, it might not even be a strawberry. It might. Who knows, man? I'm going for the Werthers. It's safe. It's all right. Or you know what? Sometimes if you're lucky, you ever had the Reason Chew? The like that. I don't even know what. Yeah, those are pretty decent too. But yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Every now and again, my grandmother would have the Brock's caramel square. You remember that one?
those are delicious. Yeah. Those are really good. Sometimes they're at aid stations, man. Every once in a while. Or you know what's delicious? Those ones with the cream in the middle. The ones that they make in Maryland. Where are those called?
I have no idea.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like a caramel, but like the little cream
that sounds
sensor.
Fantastic, though.
Like a cowtail. It's like a big cowtail. You ever had a cowtail? Yes. Yeah. Those are wonderful. But yeah, sometimes they'll have like, it kind of looks like it's like just a caramel, but it's like circular. It's like a big cowtail. But yeah, sometimes grandparents carry those. I'm still fully
convinced that the person who invented that caramel cube is a dentist.
Yeah, they're gonna get you. They're gonna get you. Yeah, my daughter, she ate a bunch of that stuff growing up, and like she's gonna have to get braces, and I try to keep her away from that stuff. But she's like all about the gummy candies and all that stuff. I'm like, Jillian, that's why you're getting these cavities and stuff. Don't do it.
Creamy or crunchy peanut butter or nut butter if you're allergic.
Ooh. I'm going creamy.
Do you eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches then?
So my daughter eats a lot of the Uncrustables, and that's like perfect, man. Yeah, I'll eat those like on like races and stuff like that, or like just on the go. It's like a perfect snack. I like those.
If you're cycling these days, they're perfect for the back of the jersey pocket. You pull them out. They're so awesome.
If I have time though, like I'll make like a good peanut butter jelly sandwich. You got some Nutella on there, some banana, just like you can do some good ones. But I just never have time, man. So yeah, the Uncrustable is my life. Yeah, if I had more time, I need to clean up the diet. But yeah, unfortunately, I eat a lot of stuff like that. I got to
Clean
get
up
it
the diet
together.
tomorrow, dude. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm out here eating
yes,
pizza and
yes,
all this other
all of it,
stuff.
dude.
Yeah.
Like, I posted a story on Instagram on the Run Try Bike page, and it's me pulling stuff out of the refrigerator with that Strava theme that's going around these days. And like, I'm pulling out Pop Tarts, peanut butter, Mexicokes, Topos. Like, I'm just eating it all.
Yeah.
Red velvet cake, is that a real flavor, or is it just chocolate cake dressed up to go to the prom?
Yeah, it's dressed up to go to prom. I mean, like, don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
I
of
will eat
course.
red velvet cake, but I don't. It's not like actually. Okay, so have you
I have
done
not.
JFK before? That's one awesome thing at JFK. So like when you're getting close to finishing the C&O Canal, which is like brutal because you do 26 miles on it. Yeah, it's just so monotonous. But like towards the end, they have a giant red velvet cake. It's the most delicious cake you've ever eaten in your life. And I'm not a huge red velvet fan, but like I can't say I hate it because that's like when you see that cake, you're just like, oh, it's almost over. Yeah. So like it's like, yeah, sometimes food represents way more than just food, you know. It's just like it's comfort, man. So like I'll say that red velvet cake is comfort, but I'm not a huge fan. But just because JFK, I
You
can't say
just
I hate it. That's my
you
answer.
just reminded me when I did Cocodona in 2019, and I got to the top of Eldon, and I was getting ready to leave, and PJ Mortimer was like, "No, dude, you got 9 miles. You got to eat something. You have to do, you got to eat. It's a long ways down. You got 9 miles, whatever." I was like, "Fine." He made me like a vegan kielbasa, but then there was the supermarket chocolate cake in that plastic tin that you can't get off right without wrestling with it.
Oh, so
So
amazing.
good, dude. Like,
You know, just put you put something else in my head too. Remember, like back in the day, those Hostess like
yes,
pies. Like, remember the one? Remember the Ghostbusters one that was like
yes.
green? Oh man, I wish they made those. Like, if I saw one of those on an Ultra, I would just throw it all in my mouth. I would just be like, oh,
They need to bring back all that
just
old
catch it.
shit, right? They need to bring that the Twinkies with the
So good.
granular sugar in it. They need to bring back ding
Oh,
dongs and devil dogs. Like they need to bring back all that stuff.
amazing. Yeah, it's just incredible
Ultra
foods.
runners with frozen ding dongs between aid stations would be in heaven, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
You have a favorite flavor of ice cream?
Okay. I would have to say cookie dough, but I love all ice cream. I will eat any
Same.
ice
I will
cream.
eat any ice cream. Chocolate chip mint for me though.
It's incredible. I will eat it all, but especially Ben and Jerry's. It's just the
Yep.
best thing ever made.
Favorite candy bar?
Oh, 100 grand.
Yes.
I love 100 grand.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Hands down.
I mean, there's nothing better. Like I'm so bad so during Halloween, I'm a bad dad at times. So like during Halloween, if my daughter gets 100 grand, guess who's taking those before she's even she's like, I thought I had some of those. Yeah,
Nope.
you sure did.
I am with
Yeah.
you, dude. 100 gram bar, hands down, best bar.
So good. It's the best.
Without a
It's the
doubt.
best.
Pumpkin spice or apple cider?
Oof.
Yes.
Apple cider. I can't do
No.
the pumpkin spice. I mean, like the pumpkin spice latte, it tastes like soup. It doesn't even taste like it tastes like freaking soup, dude. It doesn't even taste like coffee.
Chocolate chip cookie or oatmeal raisin cookie?
Oh, dude, get that shit out of here, dude. No oatmeal, dude. I will not eat raisins at all, except for like an oatmeal. That's it. Like I can't do raisins.
You said you're 45, right?
I mean,
yeah. When you get to my age,
yeah.
I'm 51. Like, but I've liked raisins since I was like 12. But anyway, like I love raisins.
I'm like this, man. I'll eat oatmeal cookies if it's like chocolate chips in them. Like that's fine. Or like, yeah, like I don't know. I can't do raisins and cookies. Though. That's depressing, dude. That makes me feel. It's like a sad breakup movie or something, man. I can't do that shit. Life's too short, man. You gotta be happy. You can't be eating raisins and cookies, man. Get that shit out of here, dude. Get it out of here, man.
Frosted or unfrosted?
Either. I'll take both of them. I'll put if there's no frosting, I will put butter on them or something, dude. Whatever I need to do. Yeah, or Nutella. You put some Nutella on that shit. Icing, yeah, dude. Anything at the aid station. I love Pop Tarts, man. I got some at my house
Me
right now.
too.
I might eat some tomorrow, dude. They're amazing.
Do you have a favorite
wonderful.
flavor? You have a go-to?
Okay, so s'mores is probably my favorite, but I like strawberry, frosted, and unfrosted. Those are good. I'd say those three.
Yeah, I'm a cherry guy. I love the cherry,
Yeah,
and
cherry's
the
good.
cookies and
Yeah.
cream will be another one that I go to as well.
I've seen that before. I haven't got that. See, Pop-Tarts is just like Oreos. Though. They've got like
Tons.
freaking crazy ones. Like, yeah, I can't. None are popping out to me right now. But like, you know the ones I'm talking about. They have like just wild.
I'm gonna help you right now. Like, don't buy the Thin Mints one, the Girl Scout cookie Thin Mints one.
It's not.
Yeah,
sounds
it's
amazing.
not.
That sounds
It's
amazing.
not. It's meh at best. But the samosa one is
that's
awesome. The samosa one is definitely the one to get.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I'm glad you gave me that tip on the Thin Mints. Even though you're saying it's bad, I still
you
want to
got to
try.
experience it for yourself, right?
Try. Yeah, because it sounds like it's just like a giant, like, you know, like an actual like a York peppermint patty, but a Pop-Tart.
Peppermint patties are right up there with 100-gram bars.
I made actually. You know what? I'm gonna put that over 100 grand. Yeah, York is just. Yeah, I'm gonna put it over because you put it in the freezer, man. That's just a great. That's a solid treat. That's a solid treat, man.
Last one before I let you go.
It's amazing.
Tray of brownies has come out. It's been sitting on the counter long enough for it to cool enough that you can handle it. Are you going to the corner? Are you going to the straight edge? Or are you going into the middle for the ooey gooey?
Corner. Dude.
Always.
You gotta go with the corner, man. Corner that's the best part, man. Like if you see the brownies at my house, man, I eat all around the tray, man. It's just all the. If I can get all the corner pieces,
you're Italian, so with the lasagna, are you going to the corner as well?
Ooh, no, I'm going in the middle. Yeah, I'll take.
See, I got to go to the edge. I still need like that crunchy pasta noodle. I love that.
I like the crunch. I like the crunch on brownies, but like, you know, for lasagna though and stuff like that, nah, I like that. You know, I just like it all like the, you know, just, you know,
what
I don't
about
want the crunch.
Sicilian pizza, corner or edge?
Yeah. Oh, that's a tough call. I don't know, man. I mean, I'll eat any pizza though. I just, you know, that's kind of a tough thing to do. Have you ever had Beto's in Pittsburgh? I have to ask you. Okay, so have you seen the pizza they make in Pittsburgh where they put the cold cheese on top? Have you seen that?
When I lived in Oswego, I went to college in Oswego. Like I told you, we would order a slice or a pie or whatever, and when they took it out of the oven, we would tell them to put cold mozzarella on it, so that when you folded it in half, it gave it like a little extra melty cheese. It was so good.
It's so delicious. Good. Yeah, it's delicious. Real quick. Chicago style or New York
get that
style?
soup bowl out of here, dude. Like, no way. I am not eating Chicago pizza. No.
You don't like Chicago? I like Chicago, but
Detroit is
style,
up there.
Dude, I'm all about
Detroit is
dude,
really
so good. So good.
Yeah,
so good,
so for me, it would be New York, Detroit, and then I'll just go hungry.
You can't go wrong. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. I mean, like it's any kind of pizza, you're fine. But like I like Chicago and Detroit. But yeah, I love New York pizza too.
Do you ever go to like what I call Trash Panda Pizza? So like Domino's or Pizza Hut or anything like that?
Oh. Dude, so my favorite bad pizza is Pizza Hut. It goes back to the booking program, dude. When I was a child, man, that's what first probably got me into ultras, man, because like they actually like make you read to get to get pizza. So you actually have to work for the pizza. It's like, yeah, you that's where it started right there, man. Book it.
That's right, 100%. You'd go to Pizza Hut, you'd get the red plastic cup, and like it was so.
Yeah, and it was a fine dining experience, man. Like, you know, the red from like the whatever the hell it was.
Dude, all
there's just red everywhere.
That,
it was wonderful.
That gingham style tablecloth that was plastic, like all of it. Yes.
The video games.
Yes,
it's just that's why people like Stranger Things and stuff like that, man, because they want to relive those days. They want to go 100%. Back to Pizza Hut and Blockbuster 100%. And all that shit.
Dude, this has been a blast. Thank you so much for joining me on the Fireside Chat. We will have to do this again real soon. Thank you.
Yeah, man, it's 9 o'clock. I want food now. You got me all hungry, dude.
Now
I gotta eat. All right, buddy.
Thanks to all of you who listened and or watched our podcast, the Fireside Chat with John Calabrese. It was a fun conversation, laughing throughout. I want to say thank you for giving me of your time, because that is the greatest gift that you can give to somebody else. Make sure you come back next week for our next Fireside Chat, where we will be chatting with a team from the Wild West Relay, which is run by Run Windsor out in Colorado, goes from Fort Collins to Steamboat Springs. So make sure you tune in for that show. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great one, and we will see you soon.